Good afternoon, and welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're staying safe, washing your hands, all that jazz. Just stay clean. Try. It shouldn't be that hard. So today we're going to be talking about a guitar from the lovely people over at DONNER. They graciously sent me out another guitar to check out, and it's actually the same model they sent me before. However, this time they made a slight change for me. This time around, they sent me a lefty. Yes, previously they sent me a right-handed guitar that I did a whole demo and gear review on, and I'd restrung it lefty and, flipped the strings and did the whole thing, but, it was a good review. People seemed to appreciate what I had to say about this guitar and all the other components that come in the pack that it's available with. But now I can play much more fluently on a guitar that's actually made for the medical mystery that is me and any other left-handed people out there in the world. If you haven't seen the video that I did previously, I'll leave a link for it somewhere in this area, you'll find it. I'll leave it down below in the description as well. You should check it out. Before we get into that, if you haven't already, consider hitting that like button and the subscribe button. It'll definitely help me out, and it doesn't take a lot of effort, so, help me out. So because I did the previous video on this guitar pack before, I'm not going to talk too much about the other components that come in the pack. Everything that was there previously is here now. You get yourself an amp, got your cable, get a nice case to put the guitar in, a pack of picks, a pack of strings, a tuner and Allen wrenches, and the one component that I was missing from previously, a whammy bar for the bridge, in some circles known as a wobble bar. Learned that from Mick over at That Pedal Show. I heard it be said once, and it's my new favorite term ever. As far as the guitar is concerned, it's a STRAT style body. You got a humbucker in the bridge, 2 single coil pickups in the middle and neck position, 1 volume, 2 tones. You got your wobble bar, a 3-ply pickguard, a dark wood fretboard on a presumably maple neck. And by the way, the neck is a bolt-on. It's a bolt-on neck. I had so many comments from people after the first video when I said it was a set neck that were quick to correct me, and I appreciate the corrections. I just didn't realize there was going to be so many people trying to correct me. Yeah. What can I say? I misspoke. I don't know terms. I don't know words. Half the time I don't know how to put a sentence together, so I'm doing the best I can, all right? My bad. It's a bolt-on neck. Overall, the guitar plays really nicely. I don't really have any complaints about it. It's comfortable to sit with, really lightweight. And the tremolo works really well. I didn't make too many alterations to this guitar. As far as any alterations that I did make to the guitar when I first got it, I put a fresh set of strings on that are a slightly heavier gauge than what came on it. I believe what came on the guitar were a set of 9s, but I put on a set of skinny top, heavy bottom Ernie Ball Slinkies. And initially I had taken one of the springs out from the back cavity, but once I put the heavier gauge strings on, in order to keep the bridge from bowing forward, I put that 3rd spring back into the center, and yeah, the guitar plays nice. As far as who this guitar is for, this particular model is for anyone that's a lefty player, or that is a righty that wants to play their guitar upside down, have the volume and tone knobs in their way. I mean, if you want to do like a Hendrix sort of thing, but you don't want to spend all your money, consider this. But beyond that, this is a great guitar for anyone who's just starting out on an electric guitar, or even the intermediate player that wants to get a feel for a guitar with a floating bridge and doesn't want to spend all their money on super high-end equipment right out the gate. The construction's really nice. The fretwork on this guitar is just as good as the last one. There's no sharp edges going down the length of the neck. And if there's any shortcomings that I can think of, I'd say it's that the pickups, if you're using a whole lot of distortion, like if you have a lot of gain on your signal, it can get a little noisy, depending on which pickups you're using. But if you're using the single coil pickups, that's to be expected. The humbucker has a nice level of output and does well with higher levels of gain. And just overall, I'm really digging this guitar. In the last video, I had a number of people ask me if this guitar would be good for recording purposes. And honestly, given the right context, it's certainly an instrument that'll do just fine for whatever you're trying to record. And to drive that point home, rather than just going and demoing through all the components in the guitar on its own, I decided to put together a little track using this guitar and the Neural DSP Corey Wong plugin. So yeah, let's check it out. Here we go. overall, this guitar plays really nice, and I didn't really have to do too many tweaks to it when I first took it out of the bag. I did have to adjust the height of the strings a little bit because it was pretty high off the fretboard when I first got it, and especially after I changed the strings on it, I had to readjust things just to get rid of any sort of buzzing and stuff like that. But again, you have the Allen wrenches that come with the pack, so you can make any sort of adjustments that you need to, whether it be to the saddles on the bridge, or you need to adjust the truss rod. All the tools that you need to get started are going to be included. It's not a super high-end instrument, but it's also not meant to be. However, with that said, I could see myself adding some upgrades, maybe some new pickups, maybe some noiseless single coils and a different bridge humbucker, maybe some different tuners as well. But we'll see what happens further down the road. The amp that comes with the guitar is a 3-watt amplifier that is surprisingly loud considering its size. And as I found out after I made the first video, it also has a battery in it so that even when it's not plugged in, you can still use it and you can like set it anywhere you want to without it being plugged in, it'll still work. I don't know how long the battery lasts for, but you know, if I wanted to sit on my bed and play my guitar plugged into an amplifier, that's probably like the perfect scenario. And you get the instrument cable that comes along with it as well, so you really have everything that you need. I will note, however, that this guitar, the capo that came with it, is a different style than the one that came with the previous guitar. The capo with that one had a hook on the bottom for removing bridge pins from like an acoustic guitar, presumably, which not having it in this case isn't a bad thing. It doesn't make any sort of difference. And the lining on the inside of the actual mechanism that goes over the strings and on the back of the neck seems to be of a different material. But overall, in terms of functionality, it does its job. No dead notes, no dead strings, so it's a capo. It works. And considering that you're gonna get all this stuff for $160, you're getting an awful lot. Growing up, my first electric guitar was the black Squire Strat that I have that you've probably seen in other videos of mine. And I remember bringing that guitar to shows and people being like, psh, what are you gonna do with that? And scoffing at my amp and any of the other equipment that I had. But, you know, here's the thing. It's not about the equipment that you have, it's about what you do with it. Because you can have an incredibly expensive guitar and you can still sound terrible when you play it if you don't know what you're doing. With my Strat, I put hot rail mini humbuckers in the bridge and the neck position, and the middle pickup's still the stock one, but I never used it at the time, so it didn't matter. And I turned that guitar into something that played really well, and I still use it to this day. If you want to hear that guitar in action, you can check out the video I did with my rendition of the Bruno Mars song, That's What I Like. And you can certainly do the same thing with this guitar. So if you're in the market for an electric guitar, but you're not trying to break the bank, consider looking up the DONNER DST. And that, my friends, is all I got for you for today. I thank you for checking the video out, and I hope you found it to be informative. If you'd like to learn further details about this guitar and the other components that come along with it, I would suggest checking out my full demo video that I did. I'll leave a link for that down below as well. Big thank you to the people over at DONNER for sending this guitar out to me. I really appreciate it, and this video couldn't happen without you guys. And if you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to support the channel further than just liking and subscribing, if you haven't already, I will leave a link for my Patreon down below for you to check out all the perks that I have available over there. But with that, guys, that's all I got for today. Thank you once again for checking the video out. I'll see you in the next one. You guys stay safe. Keep playing. Peace.